Good evening, all. Welcome to another day of battling these swish, wish wash, was, whatever voices, whatever it be called, right? Welcome to another day of battling these voices, right? Just imagine, right? Just imagine being in the midst of praying, and not even just praying for yourself, praying for other people too. In the midst of doing that and being called, oh, you have a dirty heart, you have a dirty heart, right? It sucks, right? And it's sick, it's sickening, right? So this is just another day of battling those swish, dirty, satanic voices, yeah, like we call it, right? Good. So voices of the shaitan, right? Calling pure-hearted people dirty-hearted, right? Voices of the shaitan, right? So the conversation today, but before we go into that, let's just make this one thing clear and clear up this situation once and for all. I, Vijaya Ramkisoon, I am not any wife of any prophet nor any person who have not communicated something directly to me or say, hey, I would like you to be my wife in person, right? I am not any wife of anything of the sort, right? So these swish voices could just ease with that. You are the wife of the prophet nonsense, right? Right? Ease with that. I am very 100% single right now, and it's fine, right? And it's fine, right? So anyhow, the topic of today is assumptions, right? Because in this way of life, meaning a righteous walk, a righteous path, it is, for want of a better word, a little bit on the naive side of things, because being pure-hearted is a childlike experience, not childish, but is a childlike experience. Having a pure heart is akin to having a childlike experience, right? So one of the tenets of this way of life is not making assumptions, right? You don't assume things of people, don't assume bad of people, don't assume good, just don't assume, right? To make no assumptions of others, right? If you're going through something in life, you don't assume, oh, this person did that to me, that person did that to me, without the appropriate knowledge, right? Of who did it, how they did it, when they did it, and what way they did it, right? So like I say, this tenet or this way of life, right, is a little bit naive, because it requires you to really not think negatively of others, or not to think or assume anything of others at all, right? And sometimes it will result in you being taken advantage of, trampled upon, right? And that's why, being a human being, you can't exactly be 100% pure-hearted, right? You can't exactly be 100% pure-hearted, because this is going to result in you being trampled upon, taken advantage of, shit on, right? And just not know, just being ignorant of who is doing what to you, how they are doing it to you, how you are being taken advantage of, and what ways you are taken advantage of. You just ignorant to that matter, right? And that's why they will tell you, oh, you're too dirty for seeking knowledge, you're dirty for sharing knowledge, these kind of things, right? Or you're too dirty for this particular kind of knowledge, right? That's why they would keep telling you these things, right? So I am here to just tell people, you are free to search whatever knowledge you want to seek. You are not dirty. If you are Hindu, you are free to go and search the Quran for answers. If you are in Islam, you are free to go and search the Vedas for answers. You are free to go and search the Bhagavad Gita for answers, right? God will deal with that swish, wish, wash, whatever it is, voices that come on your way, right? I have been dealing with it, and I will continue to help people to deal with it once as I could, right? So that's that, because just before, prior listening to this today or yesterday or so, prior to talking this video, just yesterday or today or so, I was looking at videos of Islamic teachers, and they were referencing Vedas and so on in their conversation. So you can't come and tell me, right, that I'm too dirty for quote unquote your knowledge, right? So this is what I'm saying, right? So let's roll with this. Do not make assumptions. Let's just change this to reference to say, make as little assumptions as you possible, because as a normal human being, you are going to make assumptions, right? In fact, in order to survive in this world, you have to assume things, right? In order to survive and get through this life, you have to make certain assumptions, right? In order to traverse this journey, you have to make certain assumptions, right? So making no assumption is not something that any human being could do, right? What we could do is refrain from just randomly, sporadically assuming things of others without a reason to do so. If you have a reason to assume something of somebody else, if you have a reason in front of your face to question something or to make a certain assumption, you are free to make that assumption. If you have reasonable evidence to show you, hey, this is something that I should question, this is something that I have an assumption about, feel free to assume, but don't go wildly assuming, right? Don't go making random, wild assumptions. You make calculated, precise, direct assumptions, and you ask the person involved, right? You ask the person that you are dealing with, right? You approach that person, you directly ask, not accuse, not blame, nothing like that, not further assume, but after you have made your initial assumption, you approach a person and say, hey, I noticed so and so, right? I found this, I saw this, right? I came across this, right? And I would like to know if this is truth. I would like to know hey, how this came to be, right? That is how you go about doing it. Because as a human being, I would tell you, and I would be honest with you, that tenet, right? I'm not erasing it. I don't want to erase it. I just want to say, as you go through life as a human being, flawed human being on earth, you will make certain assumptions, right? So, like I said, it is to refrain from doing it wildly, randomly, irrationally, right? Use reasoning in your assumptions, right? Use reason and rationality and your heart in your assumptions. Good? So, strive to make as little assumptions, as little as possible assumptions about others. Strive to make as little assumptions, especially negative, about others. But if you have to assume something about somebody else, you do it in a positive way, in a reasonable way, right? In a way that's beneficial for both you and the other person involved, right? So that's the topic today, and next conversation will be on Friday evening, right? 5:55 to 6 as usual, right? Next topic of conversation will be this coming Friday, right? 5:55 to 6 as usual, within that time frame, right? So take care everybody and have a good evening.